Hey guys, so today we are going to explore this device. So this one is Xiaomi Note 10 Lite. This device released back in 2020, and today we will find out is it usable in 2026 or not. So as you can see here, my device is actually broken. You can see the glass shattered pretty badly, but I did put a UV glass on top of that, so it does not really affect that much. One thing which is really good about this device is the build quality. So the front glass and the black glass actually Corning Gorilla Glass 5. Although glass is glass and glass breaks, so you can't really rely on that. Display here is actually 6.5-inch OLED display. It is a 60 Hz display. Looks good, and it has like in-display fingerprint, which is optical. As you know, we are talking about 2020, so most of the flagship device also coming with optical fingerprint scanner, and this one is actually first gen of optical fingerprint scanner, so it does feel a little bit sluggish, but still actually working well. In the front, we do get a 16 megapixel front facing camera, which is good enough, and it takes 1080p video. Right hand side, we get our volume rock cards, power button, and the SIM tray. You don't get micro SD card slot with this device, but it does support dual SIM. On the bottom, we get 3.5mm headphone jack, which is good, actually pretty good, and our Type-C 2.0 port and the single speaker. We don't get stereo speaker on this device. On top, we do get a secondary microphone hole and IR blaster, which is pretty useful actually. And here we get the flagship cameras. Main sensor is actually quite capable. It is a 64 megapixel Sony sensor, good enough. And we do get ultra wide sensor, which is 8 megapixel, and 2 and 2 auxiliary cameras. They are not really that useful. And another thing is that we do get soft flash and the regular flash, but here we are not getting any kind of telephoto lens. So that is kind of downside of this device actually. Talking about the other things, like, as you know, I always review ROMs. So the main purpose of buying this device is actually to review ROMs. I paid around $20 for this device, which is, I think, reasonable enough, because this is actually the highest variant of the device. So it got 8 gig of RAM and 128 gig of internal storage. So the highest variant. And the RAM is actually LPDDR4X, and the storage is UFS 2.1. And it is running on MIUI 13 based on Android 12. This device is actually powered by Snapdragon 730G, which is actually really good processor actually, and it is actually pretty much comparable with today's lower mid-range or budget devices. One thing which is good about this processor is that it is pretty stable, and there are tons of custom ROM available for this device. As far as usability goes, so as you know, MIUI is not really that good ROM. I personally don't like MIUI or HyperOS, so I always flash custom ROM on my devices. So on this device also I'm going to do that, and I will obviously make a tutorial video how you can flash a custom ROM on this device. As far as stock usability goes, this is actually doing pretty well. I haven't faced any issue actually. It is pretty stable. Everything works perfectly fine. Although you do get a lot of bloatwares with this device, but most of them actually you can remove. So as I said, I'm going to flash custom ROM. So to do that, I need to unlock the bootloader. So to do that, actually we have to enable developer option. So you can tap on MIUI version, so it will enable the developer option, and you need to connect to your mobile network to apply for bootloader unlocking permission. So turning on the mobile data, and you need to log into your Mi account. So I have already logged in, as you can see here. Now you can go to additional setting and developer option. So enable OEM unlocking, then you can go to Mi unlock status and agree and add account and device. So it will add the account, and you will see, as you can see, added successfully. Mi account is associated with this device now. So you should not log out or do anything right now. You have to wait around 2 weeks to get the permission to unlock the device. So after that, you can unlock the bootloader and you can install custom ROM. But if you don't want to take that kind of hassle, you can do another thing here. So what you can do, you can debloat the device. So debloating device is quite useful for MIUI, because MIUI has a lot of bloatware, and also ads pop up everywhere. So if you debloat the ROM, it will remove most of the useless application from your device. So to do that, you need a software and also you need a PC. So firstly, what we have to do is enable the developer option and go to additional setting and enable the USB debugging. So as you can see here, I have already enabled that. And you need PC and a software called Universal Debloater. It will do everything automatically. You can do it manually too, but manually is risky because you might remove something which is required to run your device. So don't do that. So if you connect your device first time to your PC, it might ask you to allow the device to communicate with your PC. So in that case, you have to allow. So as you can see here, it is asking me to allow. So allow. So on my computer screen, as you can see here, we have a software called UADNG. So this is Universal Android Debloater software, and I will put the software link in the description below so you can find it there. So if you open that, and as you can see here, our device is detected at Xiaomi Mi Note 10 Lite, and here you do get few options. So recommended, and you can, as I said, you can manually do that too, but don't do anything manually here, not safe. So we will check the recommended option and we will remove all this application from our device. So these are the application we can remove from the device, and we can select all of them like this, and we can go to review selection and we can apply. So it will uninstall all the application. So as you can see here, it is doing it. And it is actually removing all sorts of application like MIUI related things. This is actually good actually for this kind of devices like old Xiaomi devices. So this will work perfectly fine for them. And you can do it with any Android device. So you can apply this trick on any other device too. So let it finish and done. So all the software gone and you can disconnect the device. Now it will run actually better because obviously all the useless stuff gone. So I have been using this device 2-3 weeks now. I did try everything here. So I ran Antutu benchmark here. So Antutu benchmark. So it scored around 500,000, which isn't really bad for a device which is 5 or 6 years old. And it is pretty stable as you can see. And if we try the Geekbench, so Geekbench result is also quite good actually. So history and CPU. So CPU benchmark, as you can see here, single score is 651 and multi-core score is 1683. And if we check the GPU score, so GPU score is 1143. Obviously, you can't really compare these scores with latest processors. So latest processors are pretty good and they are optimized well for this kind of application. So they will show you higher score. But as far as usability goes, this is actually still powerful enough, and I haven't faced any issue like using it regularly. Android 12 is still perfectly usable, so you're not going to face any issue like in terms of usability. And as far as camera goes, obviously on paper these cameras are pretty good and actually they are pretty much usable. So the camera UI is pretty much similar to all other Xiaomi devices. You can take picture, you can take ultra wide picture, and here we can take 2x. So these things are available. And if you want micro photo, so you can go here and micro option is there. You can take macro photo, 2 megapixel sensor. So not really that much useful, but the option is available. And we do get portrait more, and we can take 64 megapixel picture too. And another thing is that you do get full flash pro mode here. So as you can see here, we can choose white balance, focus, shutter speed, ISO. Even you can change the lens. So macro and wide angle and ultra wide. So that's pretty good actually. So you can switch between lenses even in pro mode. The video actually, the main sensor can take up to 4K video, as you can see here, 4K 30 fps. But if you switch to ultra wide, it will only show you 1080p 30. So that's what you are getting. In terms of camera, actually you can't really expect much, but the camera experience is going to be good, not really that bad. And if you want, you can install a Gcam here, proper Gcam. So I have installed one here, which is also working. No issue at all. You can take picture, you can record video. So these things you can do. And if you're looking for a portrait picture, this one will work much better in terms of edge detection. So the Gcam going to do much better. And few things which I like about this device is that the bottom firing speaker, although it is a single bottom firing speaker, but it is actually pretty good one. So let me play a video.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.
So the speaker quality is actually good. You do get 3.5mm headphone jack, which is pretty useful to listen music, and if you play games on your device, this will give you much better audio output than your normal TWS. And lastly, in terms of gaming, obviously the offline games like Temple Run 2, Subway Surf, all these games will run perfectly fine on this device. You will not have any issue with these games. But when it comes to online gaming, usually what I do, actually I try Call of Duty on the most of the device I test, and the gaming performance is actually pretty good on this device, and you can still do 60 fps gaming with this device. Obviously you have to tweak the graphics setting a little bit lower or higher to get the 60 fps out of this device, but as I said, this is actually a pretty capable device. So if you are looking for a device which can do casual gaming, this is actually still a good device to play games on. And another thing about this device is the battery backup. So it got 5200 mAh battery, and it will last you whole day without any kind of issue. So if you have one of these devices, and if you don't know how to flash a custom ROM on your device, or if you are trying a custom ROM on your device, you can let me know in the description below. Obviously I'm going to make a tutorial video how you can do it, but if you are using a custom ROM on your device, let me know. That's all about this device. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.